Hi, it's me, Rasheed, coach, speaker, and author of Soul Trader, The Gift of Inner Success, and founder of Soul Leader. And I'm delighted to be here for the December 2024 issue of Catch the Coach, your newsletter for fulfillment and for meaningful progress. And here we are, we find ourselves at the end of the year, and the end of the year means so many things to so many different people, isn't it? It's a time that for many people is a very spiritual time. It's a religious time. For many people, it's about a family time, a time for friends. It's a time of celebration. For many people, it's a time of reflection and contemplation. And it's a time to review. So what we're going to be doing in this December issue is looking at three things: review, rejoice, and rest. Review, rejoice, and rest. Because it may well be a tough year. We want to get the learning from the year before you move into a new year, and you're going to need to also be re-energized. That's going to require rest. So let's dive in. Let's start off with our review. We're going to do a really simple Rasheed's 10-minute review. All you need to do this is a pen and paper, or you can do it on your computer or on a pad, or anything that really suits you. You might want to have key notes and so on, wherever you keep your notes. You might want to have a diary or whatever to hand, or whatever, however suits you. But we're wanting to really reflect and do a really good review. I'm going to do this really, really simply. I want you to think about, first of all, what have been the highlights of your year, personally and professionally. And feel free to just pause this video. What have been the highlights of your year, personally and professionally? When I say highlights, what are the accomplishments, the things that you're proud of, the things that you've done, the things that you've achieved, the things that you've seen, the experiences, what have been those highlights? One, personally, and B, professionally. So pause and capture all of that. Next, what have been the challenges, the difficulties? Again, personally and professionally. Just really take that time to think about what have been the challenges this year, the setbacks. Maybe the health, maybe personally, maybe family, maybe work related, and so on, when you're doing these things personally and professionally. And there may well be, of course, crossover. So again, pause, take the time you need. Third and finally, what's been the learning? I have a saying, where there's hurting, what's the learning? I have another saying that life is constantly teaching us lessons. The question is, are we listening, we're learning? What we want to do before we move into the new year is capture all that rich learning, because whether things have gone as you would hope for that they would, or completely different, or change direction, it can be very, 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 very powerful to take this time to just pause and capture all of that learning, what's been the personal learning and the professional learning. So that's our review, part one. Next, rejoice. And this thing about rejoicing is going to mean different things to different people. You may be a deeply spiritual person. For you, this may well be such an important time of the year that it's a spiritual time. It is a time where this reflection and this rejoicing and this celebration really ties in with you, your faith, your sensibility, okay? All of those things. So in which case, I'm really making sure that you take that time to rejoice in whatever way is really meaningful for you. It might be with family, it might be with friends, it might be personally, it might well be in a religious space, faith space. So rejoicing. But maybe for you also, the rejoicing is about more of a social thing, or spending time with loved ones, friends and family. And of course, the things may intertwine. Really taking that time to rejoice. For me, the important thing also about rejoicing is it's a thing about gratitude. Being really grateful, being grateful for have seen another year. So really embracing that gratitude for being here. I have a saying that every day is a blessing and a bonus. Really taking that time for deep, deep, rich gratitude. So really think about how are you going to be spending this season. Maybe it is that you've got time off, Maybe it is that you're going away. Maybe it is that you are going to be working through and you're going to be putting time in for time off later. And that leads us beautifully for our third element of this newsletter, or this video, if you're watching the video episode. So we've talked about doing your review of your highlights, what the challenges have been and what the learning has been. We have talked about that rejoicing. For you, it may be a very, very spiritual thing, a very social thing, a very inner thing, a very external expression of that. But also we're wanting to embrace that deep gratitude for the gift of life and being here. Because you might well have all sorts of gifts that you might be giving and receiving, but the gift of life is the greatest one, right? And then finally, rest. This is so important because it is a time that's really important to rest. Winter has an element of hibernation about it. Winter is symbolic of so many things, of change, of challenge, death, birth, the ending of something that's of something, a year, a time, a phase, and the invitation for something new. But it may well be that, well, it's going to be definitely that you're going to need to let go of certain things in order to move forward, and you're going to need to rest. So putting in the time for sleep, deep relaxation. Now, you may well be busy, there may be family demands, you may have young kids, you may have people who you're caring for, you may have dependents, there might be all sorts of things, you may have a very, very busy work. So how is it that you're able to just find, even if it's those really small times where you can get that rest that you need? Is it a case that you also need to support, ask other people to help you out and to help you carve out, even if it's just 10 minutes here or there? And it might be about giving yourself permission not to do, rather than to do. So really think about how is it that you're able to rest so that you're able to recharge. So that's it. Thank you so much for being with me for Catch the Coach for all year. You will find loads more that you can find on my rosario.com website and on my soul-trader.biz website for those of you who are your own business owner, or for soul-leader.biz for my inspiring interviews, for my Soul Leader podcast, and for my top tips, and various other social media. But do take this time to review, to really rejoice in whatever way is meaningful for you, and to catch up with your rest. And I hope to see you in the new year. Sending you lots of love and best wishes for yourself and everybody else. Take really good care. All the best from me, Rasheed. Bye-bye.